Hey everybody, Nick from Hawk Pro Detailing, Heber City, Utah. Either you just got your car coated by me, or you're someone online who's interested in taking care of their vehicle the right way. This process works great for coated and non-coated cars, and it's a basic how to wash with a simple lineup of products that I offer in my shop. Right away, the first thing that you can do with a coated vehicle, because you have that scratch resistance, you can hose your car off. You don't need to pre-treat it, pre-soak it. It has a scratch resistance, so any minor dirt or particles that may have otherwise scratched your clear coat, the coating is actually there to protect against minor scratches like that. So, I'm going into the minutia here, but you can go ahead with a coated vehicle and hose it off. In this case, I'm doing a mobile detail in a cold garage. There's no hose today. I want to show you the simplest way without a hose to safely wash your coated vehicle with a lineup of products that I offer, just so that it's super easy. Yes, there's a lot of amazing products out there. I have curated this line. I know it works, and that's why I offer it. Other stuff works too. You can go out and research, spend time, spend money. I've done all that. I've spent way too much money, spent way too much time trying to find the perfect product. This lineup simply works. That's why I'm doing a video about it. That's why I carry the products in my shop. The foundation for this entire process, and I don't want you to overthink this, is this technology with polymers involving no rinsing. So we don't have a hose to rinse here, and this process was developed in California during the drought. The founder of the company here, OptiCoat, helped develop modern day clear coat for DuPont. He's a PhD in organic chemistry, and he has a system here that works. So just trust me when I say he's a lot more scienced out than I am, but this is all online if you want to research it. You do 2 capfuls of your yellow OptiCoat No Rinse in 2 gallons of water. The simple ratio is this: 1 capful to 1 gallon of water, 2 capfuls to 2 gallons of water. You can put some of that in a bottle and use it as a quick detailer later on if you'd like. It's great on windows, great on interiors. This solution is in a bucket right now, but like I said, you could do whatever you wanted with this, and I'm going to show you in a second how I pre-spray the car with it to start to lift the dirt. This particular product encapsulates the dirt into a polymer, and it also gives a buffer along the paint as you remove it. So it's just a really safe way to do a rinseless wash, and it's all about the polymer technology. So not to overcomplicate it, I just want you to understand the foundation of everything we do is this particular product. This sponge is awesome. It's very soft. You want to wring it out to barely dripping, and then you'll go about cleaning your car. Some folks, if you really needed to, you could start just like this, but I'm going to pre-treat, and then I'm going to go product by product explaining how I use it, what's optional, and what is foundational along the way. So for the purposes of this video, I am not going to touch the wheels here. I'm just addressing how to clean your paint quickly and safely once it's been coated using this lineup of products. Here are a few optional products that you may want to use down the line. MDR. You put this on a sponge after you've washed the vehicle, and you let it turns into a gel. You let it sit on the paint for 5 or 10 minutes. You rinse it off. It's going to remove the mineral deposits. Not going to get rid of the water spots all the time, but if you catch the water spots early, this is the perfect product because those mineral deposits will bake into the coating. And you can polish it out of the coating later, but if you notice water spots with a coating, this is the first place you want to start. Another place you want to start, ferrex. A lot of the iron contaminants, a lot of the ferrous metals out there, just nasty pollution, will embed itself into the pores of your coating. Your coating is still there, but it stops beating water, and you're like, well, what is this crap? Why doesn't this coating work? Ferrex and possibly a clay bar or a clay towel. These are the optional things. I'm going to get to the basics very soon. But this slightly abrades the paint, and with a little bit of ferrex, you spray onto the panel or onto your clay towel. You agitate ever so slightly, and you hear that scratchy sound slowly start to dissipate. A lot of that contamination will get absorbed into the pores of this clay towel, and then it's safe to hose it off from there. So that's the clay process, and this is the water. So if you use these two products, you can often rejuvenate a coating after like a year if it loses its water beating properties. These are optional, but for the DIYer out there who really wants to take control and get a little more involved, I've got you hooked up right here. Protectant Plus, it's an interior leather conditioner. So after you clean your interior, you wipe it down with the OptiCoat No Rinse, the yellow stuff, remember, in the bucket? You can use this to protect, UV protection, nice sheen, nice smell. If the OptiCoat No Rinse isn't enough to clean your interior, you can use Power Clean. It's an all-purpose cleaner. It's also safe for your exteriors. This is another optional. If you want to do your wheels, I recommend Power Clean. If you want to get some grime in the rocker panels, Power Clean, pre-treat, let it sit for a couple of minutes, hopefully out of direct sunlight, and then rinse it off, right? So these are all options for you, but we're not rinsing today, so I'm trying to keep it to basics. After you clean your tire with Power Clean, you scrub with a brush, you'd rinse it off, you'd do a quick detail with OptiCoat No Rinse and a rag, and you just dry it. You dry the rims, you let the wheel dry. Then you could use a rag or an applicator, apply the tire gel. You'll have a nice dressed tire, which will give you a nice new look. Again, this is optional, but I carry it. Not essential to washing your car. This we're going to use as our detail spray / drying aid. It's an amazing ceramic sealant, and it's a great way to top your coating and give it amazing water beating properties. Glass Clean and Protect, another optional product. It'll give you that water beating and clean your glass, but you can also clean your glass with the OptiCoat No Rinse. And that's about it. So the only thing that you're not going to have that I am is the sprayer. Like I said, you can take your OptiCoat No Rinse, put it in a spray bottle, and pre-treat the panels, but pre-treating is important. You want to let the product encapsulate the dirt. I'm going to use a fancy sprayer, but trust me, spray bottle would work just fine. It would just take longer. Okay, so this is just a fancy sprayer. Again, you could totally use a spray bottle. This is my Optimum No Rinse, OptiCoat No Rinse, diluted 1 little cap to 1 gallon of water. You could use distilled water if you're in direct sunlight. That's a great way of ensuring no water spots during the wash process. I started with 2 gallons of this, and I haven't even used a gallon. So that's a really efficient way to get the product on the car, let it start encapsulating the dirt so that when we go in, it's a very smooth and easy process. And I can actually see a lot of these water beads. I'll just bring you in here. And for the most part, this is the kind of water beading that you want to see on a coated car. And inside of a lot of those water beads, dirt can just safely coast right off of your car. So we're letting the OptiCoat No Rinse encapsulate the dirt, giving it proper amounts of dwell time, and then what do I have here? A couple of gallons of water, a couple of capfuls of my OptiCoat No Rinse, this yellow product, the foundation of the entire rinseless wash process. I've got my big gold sponge. It's, probably wanted to like almost done dripping. That's probably good. I can feel there's still a lot in there. There's such a buffer between your hand and the paint here, so I love this system. There's way too much product in here. I need to get this. There we go. It was just too bogged down with product. Very dirty, right? You put this in your bucket, your grit guard's in your bucket, and you can rub it against the grit guard, and the OptiCoat No Rinse grabs the dirt, it falls to the bottom of the bucket, and it's between that grit guard is kind of your barrier. So almost not even dripping at all, and you're just going to go over all your surfaces with no pressure at all. Slow, easy motions. Every panel you can flip. It's really important not to try to put any pressure on this paint as you clean it, because you've got a coated vehicle and you're letting the rinseless wash technology work for you. So you can just kind of go top to bottom here. If you're in direct sunlight, hopefully you're using distilled water, or you can just do this whole process panel by panel. But in a garage like this, no pressure at all. And then because I haven't pre-treated this paint or rinsed it off with a hose, I like to be a little redundant sometimes, especially in the winter months. So I may hit a panel twice. And I dunk it in there. And don't worry if you see it dark. There's a sponge technology at work for you here, and it's amazing. It grabs the dirt, and I don't even know what it does with it. Working top to bottom. Not overthinking it. Enjoying the process, right? No pressure with my big gold sponge. Just nice and easy. One side for one panel. You can flip the sponge to another panel, and then go in there and work it against the grit guard, and then barely dripping is all you want. Now you could get more aggressive here if you wanted to, but I'm going to show you a step that's optional. So at this point you could introduce your Fair-X. You could spray the panel, and you could hose it off. You could spray Fair-X onto your clay towel and then clay the car that way as a clay lube. You could use your no-rinse product as a clay lube, folding your clay towel in fours and gently rubbing your clay mitt across the surface until you no longer hear that kind of scratchy sound. This process works great for bug guts that don't come off in the wash. The clay towel, which I don't even sell, but just the OptiCoat Ultimate Clay Towel, great for windshields. So this is an optional step. You do not need to clay at every wash. I would recommend claying twice a year maybe, depending on how you take care of your car. But if you're gonna clay, make sure there's nice lubrication going on and very light pressure with your clay towel. That's the reason we do 4 sides, so that you aren't putting undue pressure on the paint. It's the same concept behind this particular sponge. Even pressure and very limited chance of user error. So like I said, we're cleaning all the panels. We haven't used a hose. What do we do next? And there's beauty in this system, let me tell you what. There is such beauty. I like waffle weave drying towels. I like the Dreadnought from Auto Fiber, the Sucker from Luxury Microfiber. This happens to be an old Adams Polishes towel, but it's big. I know it can soak up a lot of moisture. And this is as far as this process needs to go. Heber Seal. It's the most expensive product in the line for a reason. It's amazing. It's a ceramic sealant. One spray on the panel. Okay? And then the lightest pressure you could ever imagine. Buff, dry, with the clean side. And with this product, less is more. Okay, so if it streaks up on you, it's all oily. That's what a ceramic coating looks like. That's why installers have to spend time learning how to properly install ceramic coatings, because it can look a little tricky. But this is like a ceramic coating light, right? All right, one spray. And where I sprayed, very lightly, put your drying towel. Work top to bottom. Try to get every surface. You're just drying the paint here. There's my dry side to buff. Here we go. Dry side to buff. Now there's residue on my towel. I know that. I have plenty of Heber seal to go around. Right now, even as I just touch it up, I know it's on that towel. Next panel, one spray. Where I sprayed, I'm gonna put my towel, even pressure. And then I'm just trying to ever so lightly coat every surface of the panel, just touching up the window here and the dry side, wiping it clean. If you see any high spots, it looks like oil on water, kind of an oil slick, take a dry side of your towel and buff it in. It's amazing how little of this stuff you need on the panel. One spray, drying aid. Where I sprayed it, wipe it in. And just like that, you've got your vehicle washed and re-protected with a nice little topper. It's going to add gloss, insane water beading, and real protection. I mean, it's a ceramic sealant. There's SiO2 in there. It's amazing stuff for your paint. It's that simple, you guys. It's that simple. I know the lighting here is not phenomenal, but we haven't done this yet, but we've done this. And it's shiny, it's protected. I'll show you guys what this looks like in sunlight when I finish with the whole car. So here's a close-up look at how Heber Seal works. If I can get the sprayer to work. Yep, one spray. Immediate water beading. And right exactly where I sprayed, gentle pressure, towel folded in fours, nice gentle pressure. If it starts to bunch up on you, you know there's product that is definitely starting to get caught up in there. Then you can flip your towel to a dry side, ever so gently, see how wet that is. And with the rinseless wash method, you sometimes see a little dirt come up in the drying process because that's just life. It's not perfect. I prefer a hose, but gives you a sense of it. Now on a hood, I consider it kind of two panels. So I'll do one more spray right there. Trust me, don't use more product than one spray. I've been down that rabbit hole. I like waffle weaves for drying, but I also like very plush towels for just sort of like final wipe downs. So anytime I have a towel, I just check to make sure there's nothing caught in the fibers, and with no pressure at all, ever so gently, I may give it a final buff down. So you could use the original towel if it wasn't all wet like mine was, and then I'll put the towel off of my pocket as I gently reach over the paint, mindful that my belly button is close to the paint and I don't want it to hit this amazing vehicle. Kind of a final buff down. Like I said, a clay towel is really nice, especially on windshields. And if you keep up on deconning the vehicle yourself And the whole key here is let the chemicals do the work. You don't need to work hard. Let Mother Nature do a bit of the drying, as I was taught. So, but yeah, you get a sense of that hood perfectly washed, ceramic sealant applied, and Hyper Seal. It's easy to use if you don't use too much, and that bottle will seriously last you forever. Oh, and here's a quick wheel cleaning hack. My OptiCoat no rinse. I would typically do wheels first in a traditional wash, but in a rinseless, you're gonna get this OptiCoat no rinse bucket pretty dirty. So I save this for last. If your rims are coated, it should not be very difficult to take all that dwell time, because remember we pre-treated these rims and I walked around the car with the OptiCoat no rinse. So I sprayed it down, gave it some time to encapsulate the dirt on there. And especially for a quickie wash where you're not getting into the barrels, but you're just wanting to keep it shiny for a date or going to work, or just because you have pride in your ride. So yeah, your OptiCoat no rinse. Kind of a crappy shop towel maybe. This is an older waffle weave. But at least as far as the rims are concerned, that's real clean. And then you could address the tire however you want. You know, you could clean it with the OptiCoat no rinse right now, or you could just put tire shine over it, or you could just leave it. I mean, it just depends on how you like your wheels. But for a quickie car wash, just to spruce everything up, this is how it works. If you wanted to address the actual face of your tire, yeah, I mean, put an all-purpose cleaner on there, scrub it, pressure wash it off, leaf blow or air dry, you know, and then apply tire shine. That's what I'd normally do. But this is the real world, and maybe you want to take care of your coated vehicle, and maybe it's winter time, or maybe you just want to understand how convenient it is that if I can do it in a stranger's garage, you can do it from the comfort of your own home. And there you have it. A freshly washed, safely washed, coated vehicle, in this case a Tesla. And it's pretty simple. Didn't need to get the hose out for this. She looks real shiny, real glossy, protected, washed, all done safely, all done from your garage. There's limits to this method, but it can take you a long way in maintaining your vehicle, maintaining the coating, and just really enjoying your investment.